Welcome to day one. This is the beginning of my journey. And I'm telling you right now, I'm calling my shot. I'm taking a $10,000 investment and I'm going to turn it into a $10 million successful business enterprise, my coaching empire. That was the investment that I spoke about a couple weeks ago on my Instagram when I said I was going to make the investment into myself. And what I did is I went and I hired a coach. And I invested $10,000 over the next 3 months to help me build momentum and strategy into creating my coaching empire. And then I thought to myself, well, what would be the best way to hold myself accountable through this whole process? To really go out there and say, you know what? I'm going to get this shit done no matter what it takes. And that's when I came up to with the idea of, I'm going to document this. I'm going to document this journey because right now I'm at step one, right? I don't have the money. I spent all the money. I had to take a loan out on the value of my house to pay for this coach, right? Because I didn't have it. I've slowly, if you look at the financial health of my business, it's very poor, right? Over the last few years, I've just continued to lose more and more and more money. Right? And it'd be the equivalent of somebody on the weight side, continuing to gain more and more and more weight, right? It's just like slowly falling out of control. And that's what was happening. And I kept asking myself the question, how can I do so well in the area of my life with my health and do so poorly with my business? Because if we look at health, I'm in the top 1% of the world, right? I'm 40 years old. I'm 10% body fat. I perform in the top 1% in CrossFit in the world in my age group. Like, I am physically fit. I am physically healthy. My routine around everything I do around this area of my life is rock solid. And I love doing it. Like, I love all the stuff that I do. I enjoy the way that it makes me feel. I'm at my best in this area of my life. So then I asked myself the question, if I can be in the top 1% here, why can't I be in the top 1% over here? And I can. But I need help. And so I look at people, well, who's playing a bigger game than I am? Who's already doing what I want to do really well that I can learn from? And here's the thing about coaches, guys, or anybody that's going to advise you. Most of the time, you're going to have to make an investment. And I'm making an investment in myself. That's where that money's going. And I know that by making this investment in myself, then I'm already showing up how I need to show up in order to execute. Because I've already done, a lot of the things that I've talked about through my content, right? Like all this mindset work, that's what I've been doing for the last 18 months of my life, with intention. Like intentionally identifying what my why is, what my vision is, identifying, what are the current characteristics in my life that have led to the results that I currently have, and what are the ones that I need to embody. Working with multiple coaches about my limiting beliefs. Why am I stuck in these areas of my life? Why am I unable to break through? And then identifying, well, what are the skills that I need in order to succeed here? What are the behavioral changes that I need to have? What are the influences that I need to have in my life, right? This is the same structure that I teach. And it's the same structure that I follow within myself. And I find the people that can help me do that. And that's what day one is. I just had my first coaching call with my new coach. And man, it was extraordinary. It just continues to reinforce what I already know. That in order to succeed, you've got to have coaches. You've got to have the right people in your corner. Because she just offers me value and perspective. She gets me seeing things from a different point of view. She asks me better questions, which creates better answers. And of course, she has strategy for me, right? She's already walked my path. She knows where I'm at. She knows where I want to go. She knows how to get me there. All I have to do is I have to show up, right? And I've already made that commitment. I made that decision to myself that I'm going to do whatever it takes, right? I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this happen. It took me my whole 30s, right? It took me a decade of my life to master my health. I didn't do that shit in 3 months, right? It took me a decade. And now I know moving forward for the rest of my life that I'm good here, right? I know how to take care of myself. I know the mentality behind it. I know the actions behind it. And I have the identity of it. And that's not going anywhere. And now I made the commitment for my 40s that I'm going to master my money. And I'm going to master my business. And I'm going to make myself an incredible success. And I'm not going to wait until I've already made it to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it right now when I don't have it. Because where I am financially is exactly where I was with my health when I was 30 years old, when I started that journey of becoming healthy. I was heading down over a bad path. I was gaining weight. I was making poor decisions. I knew I wanted something better in my life, but I didn't really know what to do. And I was just kind of just blindfolded, throwing darts at the board, hoping some shit would stick, you know? And that led me into the world of CrossFit, which is where I prospered for, the entire decade of my 30s, both physically and financially. But now I'm going in a different direction. And now I have that as a reference point, right? Like I understand that now. I understand that, hey, that took 10 years of my life to master. And becoming financially wealthy through creating a business that I'm passionate about, that goes out there and creates an incredible impact on everybody that it touches, that too will most likely take a decade of my life. And that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. This is what I want to spend the next 10 years of my life doing. And I know that, I have that reference point that might be as long as it takes. But honestly, it probably won't. Because I developed so many solid foundational skills with creating mastery in my life with my health, that those skills are already developed. I'm going to be able to transfer that right into this area of wealth, right into this area of money mastery, of creating a success here with my business. And I just had this call with a coach, and I'm beyond excited. Like I was excited going into it. Fate just kind of led me to her. And when fate's knocking on your door, you answer. And this is the biggest investment I've ever made on myself, in this type of avenue, right? And I know the coaching world, it's really, there's a lot of skepticism with it. People will go spend $250,000 on a college education and come out of there with no job and no real shift in your identity or what to do, but they struggle to find value in spending a few $1,000s or however many on a coach that will actually change you, that will take you from who you are now to who you need to be and create the strategy that you need in order to create the success that you're after. That's what coaching is. That's what I do. That's what she's going to do for me. Any good coach is going to have a good coach. If you have a coach that doesn't have a coach, go find a new coach. If you don't see the value in what you offer, that's like hiring a trainer that's out of shape or hiring an investment manager that's broke, right? Make sure they're practicing what they preach. But this is great, right? Because her and I are doing the work, and I'm familiar with the style of work, but she's bringing a fresh new perspective to it, and she's getting me to think differently. And she's giving me tasking that I got to go do that. As soon as we started writing out the tasking, I got excited about it. I'm like, all right, this is stuff I haven't done before, but I immediately see the value in what this is going to bring. I see why I need to do these things, and I see why these things are essential to do now before we start talking about the actual changes in my behavior, before we start talking about the action plan, right? That's not where we need to start. We need to start with these limitations. We need to start with identifying patterns of behavior, patterns of thought, and how we interrupt those, or how we break those, and how we replace those. And I'm aware of these things. I know these things, but it's almost impossible to do this stuff on your own. Like even if you know what to do, it's so hard to go out there and execute, right? If we look at CrossFit, CrossFit.com posts a workout on their website every day. You don't need to be a member of a gym. You could just as easily look at the programming and go and do it on your own. But very, very few people do that. They pay money to go to a facility to coach them through that, right? And that's the beauty of coaching. It's all I need to do is show up, right? And I know that. So I tell my clients that all the time. All you got to do is show up. I'll take care of the rest. And that's what she's going to do for me. That's what this coaching experience is going to do. So I'm really excited. And I have some expectations here too, right? Because I also know this process of change, and that's why I want to document this. Notice how excited I am right now on day one, right? Isn't this how we all feel on day one of starting a new journey? If you just go sign up for that new program and you're like, okay, I'm pumped up, I'm ready to go, I'm ready for change, just tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. That's how I'm feeling right now. And I could be wrong, but the expectation based on previous experience, which sometimes hurts us, right, by having these expectations, is that enthusiasm dies off. And as that enthusiasm dies off, then that's when those old thought patterns start to come into play, right? That's when we start to lose momentum, and that's when the excuses come up, and you start to not follow through with things. You just start not to feel good about the process anymore. And I'm aware of that may show up, right? And it's my responsibility to manage my emotional state, to keep myself energized, to keep myself focused, to keep myself enthusiastic about this process. Knowing why I'm doing it, what that ultimate vision is for me. Knowing what I don't want in my life, right? Having that reference point, because I've had plenty of that. I've had plenty of what I don't want, which is why I'm so committed to doing the things that I need to do in order to create everything that I do want, because that's all within my power. And I'm going to share with you guys as we move along everything I'm feeling, everything that I'm thinking. If that resistance shows up, if that self-doubt shows up, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to share it. Because I want you guys to be able to relate to this. I want you guys to understand that this is what the process of change is like, right? It's not always going to be just this incredible amount of enthusiasm and passion and drive. That sometimes there are going to be times when we struggle. And that's just kind of part of the process, because those are the moments that make us stronger. Those are the moments that really solidify our intention of why we're doing this, right? If your why is strong enough, you will get through those obstacles. If it is not, you won't. And I'm really excited because I've been talking about this for so long, and this is my opportunity to practice what I preach, to walk my talk, right? This is my opportunity to show you guys that this is what the process of creating extraordinary change in your life is going to look like. And more importantly, I'm going to show you guys that it can be done. Because there's nothing special about me. There's nothing unique about me. There's nothing that's that different about me that's from the rest of you. I'm just like you. I'm just making a decision to do something about it. I'm making the commitment to doing whatever it takes to create this life for myself that I want, and then more importantly, just become the man that I want to be. And in doing so, it's going to allow me what I feel is one of the greatest gifts of life, and that's to go out and contribute, to give back, to hopefully provide some impact onto your guys' life, to get you believing in yourself in a manner in which maybe you currently don't, to make you believe that, you know what, if Arvin can do it, I can do it. And to get you started on your path of transformation, to get you started on the journey of creating an extraordinary life for you. Because I know a lot of people balk at those words, right? Like, oh yeah, live your best life, blah, 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 blah. But why not? I don't. I am determined to live my best life. I want to feel amazing every moment of every day. I want to be in complete control of my thoughts and my emotions and create the exact life that I want for myself. I want to improve the quality of life of everybody around me because of the manner of which I live mine. I don't laugh at those words. I don't shake my head at them. I believe in them. I embody them. And I live my life by them. So this is going to be exciting, guys. I don't know how long it's going to take. I know I'll get there. I know I will. And I think it's going to be real cool to look back on these early videos and just see where I was and to where I'm going. To see this place of financial obesity and take myself, financial scarcity. And I'm going to take myself into a place of abundance, right? A place of wealth. And you guys are going to get to watch the whole process unfold. It's going to be pretty badass. I'm excited. So keep tuning in, guys. Right now, I'll tell you my schedule. I speak with her once a week for the first 3 weeks of each month. So this is my first call, so I got 2 more weeks, and we take a week off, and then we start back again the following month. So I'll just keep, when I get off the calls with her, I'm going to shoot the video while everything's fresh, while I'm still feeling everything I'm feeling from that from our conversation. I'm just going to share with you guys what I'm going through, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and then as we start to track metrics, I'll start sharing those metrics with you guys as well, so you can see how I'm growing in that area of finance as well. So, yeah, stay tuned, huh? This is going to be a fun ride. I'll see you guys next week.